YouTube faithful, what's going on? It's Winning Wednesday, Wombat Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. Once removed from Taco Tuesday, we almost had a full sweep. Nafisa Collier sold her taco, unfortunately, but hey, it's okay. The pairs cashed. Paul Skeen strikeouts at 4.5. Hayden Birdsong 2.5 earned runs. Dollanders earned runs. Lorenzens earned runs. We had all the earned runs plays correct, and DeGrom's outs. Unfortunately, he hooked his hits allowed, but overall, big W of a day, profitable. So smash that like button because we're going to cover it again today. Like and subscribe, folks. It really helps the channel. What I do if you're new is I cover fantasy sports, the daily fantasy sports, the pick'em apps, the money lines, the DraftKings P to P. PvP, I cover it all, guys, and I do it with a data analytical driven approach. I build data models and I let them do their things. That's it. That's really all the science behind this. So if you're interested in developing a winning process, which is what I do, I teach you how to have a winning process, smash the subscribe and let's get moving. Today is a massive slate. I fade the early games except for my Pirates, Mr. Sonny Gray. I took him to get 4 to 5 to 6 Ks. I think it was 5 or 6 Ks. I'm pretty sure he's green, but we will have to go and find something for today. Now, I got some good news. Crushed Bats version 2, the pitcher side. The hitter side still in the oven. It's almost done, but I had to release version 2 of the pitcher side first. It is almost ready for release. I've been working like a government mule to get this done, folks. Every night till 2, 3 in the morning with the laptop in the bed. Wife tossing and turning and me pulling my hair out. I finally got the weather to do what the weather was supposed to do when they're in a dome. I just took all the retractable roofs, put them as closed because it's hot as the devil, and that's it. Climate controlled weather if they're in a retractable roof. That's it. I have other big changes coming which will be outlined when it is released, but you get access to it by joining my Discord Gold package, aka Dub Club. You log in right here through Discord. It'll take you here. All the pictures are here, and this is the simulator where you can get live predictions of what is going to happen, probabilities, and more. Let's take a look at Sonny Gray. All right, Sonny Gray versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, normally the Vegas odds will be here, but since it's already in progress, it's not. Now, I have the matchup analysis. You can see it's giving you the exact data against right-handed pitchers. Pirates are average at striking out right now versus righties. They're hitting a little bit below average than league average, and they're literally drawing walks on average. They're average. My Pirates are mid. No one's disputing that fact, comment guy. All right, we got the historical data here. I mean, how do you target a guy that literally just went 27 pitching outs, 11 Ks? I mean, a full shutout game the other day he paid. A master class. That's called an outlier. Good for him. The perfect game, pretty much. 5-4, 5-10. This was his historicals. So then we take these numbers, we run it, and we are going to run it 10,000 times, okay? The Vegas odds are going to be whatever you want them to be. It's going to be a consensus. You can change these numbers to whatever you want. This will run it 10,000 times, and you can see on average, these were his results. 61% of the time, he's going over 5.5 Ks. 55% of the time, 1.5 runs. 47% of the time, 4.5 hits allowed. And 1.5 walks, 23% of the time, with average of 17.6 outs. Now, this is the recommendation. Take more on the Ks, avoid the runs and hits, take less on the walks. It's giving you the exact weather of while the game is in progress. That is a big change from before. And if we go look live, Sonny Gray, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and 6 Ks and 1 walk. Cash it all. Avoid the earned runs. It was leaning on the over. Same thing with the hits allowed. 61% of the time over 5.5 Ks and less on 1.5 walks. That's a beautiful thing, Donnie, as you can see here. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, but more often than not, it will. This is what this tool is, okay? It is a simulator to give you a big data sample size by the click of a button. So let's find some plays for today, shall we? What do we got? Well, everybody's darling Hunter Brown. What are we doing with this man? He's facing the Rockies. I don't like taking players versus the Rockies in Coors Field. I don't. But 6.5 Ks, his fantasy score, we're going to have to look at all of it. Look at the strikeout rate for the Rockies versus righties. 9.9. Batting average, they hit below average. Walk rate, they're also drawing less walks. This is still version 2. See this little arrow? These are the type of little bugs that I still have to fix. This should be signaling down. Also, these are going to be color coded. Version 1, which is deployed right now, doesn't have the walk rate in the matchup analysis, just has batting average and strikeout rate, but I'm adding stuff in. Now look at his head-to-heads. Look at his head-to-head. June 25th, 18 outs, 7 Ks, 3 walks, 2 hits allowed, 0 earned runs. Last 10 starts, 9, 4, 12, 9, 5, 8, 9. Hunter Brown's been on an elite run this year. Let's take his 6.5, run it, and you're not going to like what you see. It's only 45% of the time to go over 6.5, okay? But we got some other things here. Hits allowed only goes over 21%. Earned runs, 37%. Walks, only 22%. So we could be taking unders on earned run, hits allowed, and walks if we want. Over on pitching out, 17.9. I'm sure his line is 17.5. The Ks isn't bad. Now I have a rule. If the line is 6.5 and it's showing a void, which it is, the recommendation, I usually don't tease it down to find a goblin. In this situation, if you want to tease it down to 5.5 and see what it runs at 60%, you could. Now, when the Vegas sets the line at 6.5, the lower you tease it down, 5.5, 4.5, it's always going to show you a higher probability. That is just the way data models are. If Vegas puts it at 6.5, it's going to try to get close to that number. I designed it like that. Which if you take away the Vegas boost, you can see it drops down 4%. Okay, so it goes from 60% to 56%. That only applies to strikeouts. And you can see, take more, take less, take less. It's giving us the weather at Coors Field on July 1st, but that's just a UI bug. That'll be fixed as well. So we can see it is 60% to go over 5.5, but under 2.5, under 5.5, under walks. So let's pull him up on PrizePicks and see what everyone's favorite Hunter Brown is doing. Look, they don't have 5.5 hits allowed. They only have goblins. They have 1.5 walks allowed. Now we could be taking less on that, but again, this was at 2. If we put it down to 1.5, it goes all the way back. It goes all the way up to 47% because it's more likely because 2 is bigger than 1.5. All right. So it's showing 1.6. It would be a fade. You don't want to take under 1.5 walks. It's just a fade. Technically, it goes under 53% of the time and only over 47% of the time, but no clear value. Avoid it. Fade it. Under earned runs, under hits allowed. Perfect. PrizePicks doesn't have that up here, so we got to go with what we have. Pitching outs, that would be fine. What does it pay with any random square? 2.75x. So that would be fine. But listen, here's the other thing. The Astros pulled Hunter Brown a couple games ago. Where was it? Versus the Angels for no reason. Okay. Some will argue he lost command, but look at him. He does good, drops off. Does good, drops off. Does good, signaling the trend. He's going to drop off. I'm going to take my chances, but what I'm going to primarily take is most likely his fantasy score and just pray that Hunter Goodman and Mr. Beck don't get runs today. But 5.5 Ks is also good. It'll pay you 2.25x with any random square. I think he's fine. I don't like that he's popular, but it is what it is. Any of these 3 are in the mix, and I gave you and showed you the analysis for that reason. My base model agrees somewhat at 6.8 strikeouts, okay? 5.5 hits, 2.6 earned runs, and 5.3 innings pitched with only 95 pitches thrown. Always check the base model as well as the simulation model. You got to go hand in hand. All right, so those 3 are fine right there. Find your pairs, do whatever you want. Next, I think you can look at Jose Berrios here for a couple of options, okay? 1, you could take over 1.5 walks, which is a goblin, but look, it pays you 2.5x, so it's not a true goblin, okay? And then possibly Will Warren and Jose Berrios pitcher strikeout combo, and then the 5Ks, 4.5Ks for Berrios because the Yanks just make everyone look like an elite pitcher. Now, it's tough for me to make a decision on this, so I'm going to show you the model. Base model has Berrios getting 5.2 Ks, 2.4 walks, 5.3 hits, and almost 3 runs. Now, the problem is Yankees. Yankees as a franchise are completely banned for me, folks. I don't know about you, but I've completely banned them, and I don't feel bad about it. The only thing I take is Judge over 0.5 K here and there, but they're banned. I'm not interested, but I guess you could take the strikeouts. I'm going to take the walks because Judge could get walked intentionally or otherwise. So could a lot of their other guys. They do walk a lot, which if we see the Yankees draw walks at 11.9 and the league average for right-handed is 9.6. they're way higher. They're striking out a little bit more than the league average, but they're still considered average. Head-to-head versus the Yanks, he doesn't do well at all. 16 outs, 4, 2 walks, 3 walks, 3 walks. But the Yankees aren't the Yankees as of late, my friends. And Berrios has actually been dealing as of late. 8, 5, 5, 1, 5. That is why I would take him over 4.5 Ks and over 1.5 walks. And if you see here, the model says at 4.5 Ks, we should be leaving it alone technically. And that is what I just told you. It's a gut call. But the walks, 75% chance to go over 1.5 walks. He simulates for 2.7. His hits allowed under 5.5. Earned runs is a void. That would be your options here. They're in a retractable roof, guys. But because of the way I had to build this, I just considered it a dome. I'm just going to assume it's going to be closed. Even if it's open, they're still controlling the climate with AC. So I just made the decision to put it at climate controlled, which is like 75 degrees, minimal wind, and it's not really impacting like an outside stadium open air. Okay, that's how it had to be for version 2 to get these domes working. So this is my analysis on this. 4.9 Ks, 2.3 earned runs, 5 hits, 2.7 walks, 6 innings. This is over a 10,000 run simulation. All right, that's Jose Berrios, which leads me back to 1.5 walks and 4.5. But technically the 4.5 isn't a void, but a gut call could be put in there because the Yanks have been making every pitcher look like an elite guy. Also his 17.5 outs, I don't think that's bad, but I'm just going to pray that he gives up the 2 walks and move on from there. We're going to put all this together on Parlay Play shortly, but first we have to go over the analysis. Now, every day, Monday through Friday, I should say, I have a live stream at 5:30 Central where I go either 1 to 2 to 3, depending on how many hours it is, depending on the vibe. We cover the hitters. Yesterday, we had over 150 people, and I hope that we have a bunch of people again. I had a bunch of live stream callouts, as you will see in the winning slip section if I show it to you. Holiday, over 0.5 K. We talked about Dollanders, Demons, over earned runs. I mean, a lot of plays are covered on that live stream. Mike Trout, over 0.5 strikeout to pair with your taco at the end for Yoshi. That was the most sweat-free play ever. Him and Holiday K's. I gave it to you guys on the live stream. I can't just give out everything on these tubes and the general chat because I have to incentivize people to come and learn in those live streams. Period. I'm sorry if you don't understand that, but that is how it has to be. I know if you can't make it, make the next one. If you sign up with any of my partners, ParlayPlay, Chalkboard, Sleeper, Underdog, you will get a 100% deposit bonus, number 1, a free square, number 2, but also 30 days of my Discord. Just send me the email. If you're already signed up with them, just click join now. You'll get access for $24.99 a month. It'll grandfather you in from the future price increase, which happens once the hitter side of Crushed Bats is released. There's a 3-month special, a 6-month special, and a year special. It's linked in my Dub Club, gives you access to my Discord. Inside the Discord, you get access to my base model projections for every sport, access to the live streams where we go over the hitters for MLB. Ohtani's home run was the most #1 rated home run prop in the model yesterday, and he cashed. Jackson Holiday, over 0.5 K, a live stream call out, cashed. DeGrom cashed. Yoshi cashed. Pretty much a full sweep on the daily prop list yesterday, except for DeGrom under hits allowed. That was the only thing, but he cashed his out, so I can't even get upset. Spartan says, solid start to the month. Shout out Crush Bash. Williams was a sweat free. He anchored Gavin Williams over 1.5 walks allowed. He talked about it all day. He gave it to the community. I think it was like 75% to go over. As you can see here, he's showing. Yep. And it cashed for him sweat free. That is how you do it, guys. It's not going to work every single day, but if you make your plays like that every single day, you will be profitable by the end of the month. It's that simple. In addition to that, you got to know a little bit about baseball, and I teach you that in the live streams, which is why it is so important for you to be there. Gasman's hits allowed cashed. Yoshi's outs cashed. DeGrom's outs. Anderson's walks. He had a full sweep, and Sanchez was a DNP, and guess what? You can go right back to Sanchez today. Okay, so you can get in those live streams, you can get these slips, these daily prop lists, the call-outs, everything by joining up. You also get access to this model immediately, guys, and I stand by it, okay? It's a good tool to have in your pocket, and the hitter side is going to be just as good. It's already working. I give out the hitters on the live stream. It's not for public use yet, but it will be. Now let's keep going and see what else we can find. Now, Richardson, hits allowed versus Miami Marlins. The Miami Marlins bats are pretty hot right now, okay? They're still overall average based on the overall season stats, but right now, in the last like 15 days, they're extremely hot. and Richardson is not that great of a pitcher. 2 hits, 4 hits, 1 hit, 8 hit, 8 hit. His hits allowed are low because his pitching outs are low, but let's run the data for him 10,000 times and see what we got. Over 4.5 Ks, only 53% avoided. Earned runs, 64%. Hits allowed at 5.5, 62%. Walks, 57%. They don't even have him at 5.5. The highest line is 4.5. Now I put it as a dome, Lone Depot Park. I explained that, the retractable roof and whatnot. But the walks 1.5, 57%, hits allowed is where we're going. If you take his hits allowed with any random prop, it shows a goblin, but it will pay you 2.75x. They lowered it. It was 2.75. Now it's 2.5. Hilarious. Earlier, I got it for 2.75x. That is why it is good to take it early. If you're in the Discord, you would have got it early and made that extra coin. If you want a conservative option, you take it at 3.5. If you want the demon option, you take it at 5.5. 3.5 will pay you a flat 2x. Now, Mr. Sanchez. Do I like Sanchez today? Yeah, I do. Now, the thing is, the Padres just shelled Mick Abel while it took him under 3.5 Ks, by the way. Cash it! As you can see here, 5 earned runs, 3 Ks, 5 walks, and only 1 inning. Easiest under I ever took. But he still managed to get 3 Ks. Because the Padres are still technically in a slump. It looks like they're getting back with the hits that they put on him. But listen, Sanchez, he's either getting 5 Ks or he's getting shelled, but he could do a mixture of both, and that would be vintage Sanchez. I like him over 4.5 Ks. You can see this also pays you 2.5x. The reason there's so many goblins and demons with baseball is because 0.5 is such a surgical line in baseball. I need you guys to understand that. It's not basketball, it's not WNBA, it's not NFL. In MLB, it carries so much weight. That is why PrizePicks literally just litters the board with goblins and demons and these different payouts. So get whatever is out of your head. Oh, I don't take goblin. Get that out of your head because these aren't true goblins. 2.5x is not a true goblin. And why do they do that? Because it's most likely he lands on 5. So if you take 5, you're going to need 6. Can he get 6? Sure. Do I want to ask for 6? Nope. Let's go run him and then we'll get out of here. Now, if you want my full prop list with analysis, they are posted in the Dub Club. Sign up. Guys, I promise you, win, lose, or draw, you're going to get your coin worth. I put in the time. You will learn something. Give us a shot. Sign up, guys. I want you guys to get grandfathered in on that route, on that rate. And I also want to grow my community. I'm trying to get to 1,000 active subscribers. I need your help to do that. YouTube faithful, get it done. Give it a shot. We got a good community. And smash the like button on these videos so more gents can see it. I am working round the clock to get this stuff out for you guys. I promise you. God is my witness. I'm working so hard on this. We can see versus lefties, the Padres are getting more walks and they're also striking out less than the league average. It's very important to factor in the righties and lefties in this situation, which this model does. So you can see the Padres, they don't strike out rate a lot against anyone, but even more so against lefties. So it's going to be sweaty. There's no head-to-head data except for one from 2024 where we only got 5. I don't care about 2024. There may be 2023 data, but I don't pull that. It's 2024 and 25 data only. Last 2 seasons. I don't care what happened in 2023. You shouldn't either. You can see by looking at Sanchez, his vintage performances, 11, 4, 5, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 5 strikeouts in him in addition to 2 to 3 runs and 4 to 5 hits. That is just what he does. So let's take this line down to 4.5. Let's take his earned runs to 2.5. 1.5 walks, and let's see what we got. And these are the results. 71% of the time he's going over 4.5. 28% of the time he goes over 2.5 earned runs. So we should be looking at the under there. Hits allowed 4.5, 57%, and the walks is a fade. The weather and everything else is accounted for, as well as my other data points. There's 50 of them, and that is that. 6 Ks, 1.8 earned runs, 5 hits, 1.6 walks, 18 outs. Now, if he doesn't go 18 outs, the rest of these numbers are not going to line up, guys. That's just how it is built. So if he goes 18 outs, he's going to average 6 Ks in this 10,000 run simulation. All we need is 5 Ks. Now, is he going to get shelled? Probably, but I need him to get 5 before he does that. Okay. That is what I took. So we talked about those guys. We're going to talk about hitters on the live stream today. Now let's put it all together and make a lineup. You could do this on PrizePicks right here. Hits allowed for him, 4.5 Ks, his fantasy score, or his 5.5 Ks, which I think has more odds to hit, but you're going to take a pay cut. I don't like taking 3 props to get 3x. I don't think it's worth it. Even if you just took these 2, which are, they're goblins, it'll pay you 2.25x. This is just taking the push equity out of their OG lines. His OG line should be 5. His is 5. You're giving up 75 cents on the dollar, but 2.25x is fine. So there you go with that. Now we can go over to ParlayPlay and see if they have any boost, which I know they will, and they got my boy Coochie at 4.5 Ks. I will put that in the mix over here. They got Ohtani at half a run in the mix. So let's start building and popping. Now, unfortunately, they don't have Sanchez up here yet because it's a double header today. They will later, but they do have Hunter Brown at 5.5. They probably have a fantasy score too. You can see here, this is 3 legs, but it's only 2.65. What did I just tell you guys about that? Hunter Brown's outs would bump it to 17.5. His fantasy score bumps it all the way to almost 4x. But we're taking Kikuchi at 4.5, which is true line is 5.5 because they don't have Sanchez here, unfortunately. Do they have Berrios? They do. This would take us to 5x if we did this right here. Now let's go look at Hunter Brown again. If we did his outs, it would be almost 5x. Problem is, I think if he gets 18 pitching outs, he's most likely cashing his fantasy score because the quality start, they should win. The only issue is every team can put up runs in the stadium, dude. Every team can. So I honestly think the 5.5 Ks is obviously the most optimal, but look at the pay cut we take. 3.66x. I mean, it's just so tough to do that. I might as well ask for 7 Ks. Even asking for 7. If he gets 7 Ks and 18 outs, how does he not cash his fantasy unless he gives up 5 runs in the process? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I land on his fantasy score as being like better. I'm very conflicted on this, honestly. I'm very conflicted on this. I think the Nerfy could be good. Gomber literally gives up runs like nobody's business, so I'm going to fade it, but the Nerfy could be okay. For this one, do we ride 250 to win 1,300 and max it out? I do like Kikuchi to get 4.5 Ks. I don't know if I can pull the trigger on 250 because I don't know how convinced I am on his fantasy score at 37.5. Let's go run him again. Earned runs 2.5 is juiced under. Walks is juiced under. Hits allowed is juiced under. And the Ks is juiced over. PrizePicks already bumped him to 7. They don't draw a lot of walks at all versus right-handed pitchers. Look, versus the league average. And this arrow is wrong. It needs to be down. That is a bug. I will note that. I do have it noted and fix it. Don't forget. All right. So these are the numbers. Hits allowed 22% of the time he gives up 6 hits. We could take under 5.5 hits. Under on his earned runs. ParlayPlay doesn't have earned runs up yet though. So it's tough, guys. This is where you guys have to make the gut call. I'm already breaking my rule by going down. If this number is 55% or higher, that is when I find a goblin, like Sonny Gray today. When it's 45% signaling to avoid, I avoid it altogether. I'm making a gut call, breaking it, and putting it at 5.5, which it goes down to 59%. Now, before it was 60, right? Well, every time you run a new simulation, it generates a new 10,000 runs. Those numbers are going to fluctuate by 0.1, 0.2, 1%. That's by design. So if he stays under 2.5 earned runs, if he goes over 2.5 earned runs 36% of the time, that means that 64% of the time he stays under. Same thing with the hits. The hits looks like a slam dunk, but I hate taking that type of prop in Coors Field, man. I hate it. But that could be the move. I mean, if he gives up 5.5 hits, he gives up 5.5 hits. That's 4.8x. That's not bad. It says 3.9. Last time he played, he didn't give up any but 2, but that was so long ago. He's been giving up 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 6. I think under 5.5 is the move, guys. Gonna check the base model. Hunter Brown, 5.5. So it's close. This doesn't simulate. This just takes the numbers and analytics. 5.5. It's close. I'll end up splitting the baby. Under 5.5 and over 37.5 fantasy points, as well as I already took 5.5 Ks in other lineups and also 17.5 outs. But let's just do this and let's hope we get lucky. If you want a tail, it's ParlayPlay code CRUSH. They will give you a free square. I'll give you 30 days of the cord if you send me the email, and they'll give you a deposit match, and they give you a free 5 instantly. That is the best deal. They're upgrading their software. They're going to have earned runs and all that stuff eventually, guys. They're good for football, good for NBA. Give them a shot. You won't regret it. Their cash outs are fast. The deposits are quick. Just click the link in the description to make sure you get credit for using my code. Now over here on PrizePicks, I think this is a fine 2-piece for 2.25x. You can do whatever you want over here with Hunter Brown. You could add in his 17.5. You could take his fantasy score. Any of the other ones we talked about, Berrios, whatever you want to do, guys. Now, real quick, big WNBA slate tomorrow. The model will be posted up for it in the Discord. Live stream at 5:30 Central. Now, football is coming around the corner, and I'm working on my tool. As soon as these MLB tools are out, it's transitioned to NFL. I'm getting those tools out. Now, what I'm going to be doing is best ball streams on Underdog via TikTok Live, okay? So I want you guys to tune in. I will let you guys influence and help me with my draft. You guys can tell me what you think, what you like. I'll put them all in. And if you're not up to speed with what best ball is, it's basically a $25 entry, okay? You can enter as many times as you want, I think. I think actually there's like 150 is the max, but every year someone wins $1 million on this, okay? And what this is, you draft your team, right? You draft your fantasy football team, and then every week, whoever accumulates the most points on your bench or on your team is the points that goes forward. And you compete against 12 other people, okay, in groups. And then at the end of it, the top 2 from that group, they advance, and then so forth and so forth. Once you see it, you will love it. I will explain it to you. It's one and done. This is all about drafting. You don't have to sit and start people. It's not overs or unders or more or less pick. It's none of that. You draft your team, and then your team is set. And then that is it. It goes the whole NFL season pretty much, and you have a chance to win $1 million for first place. There's a bunch of other prizes, and I'm going to be doing these on live stream on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok. Go to my website. You can follow me there. It's Captain Crush PrizePicks, I believe. It's on my link tree. It's in the description. Now, you can't tail or fade these because these are live things. I don't even think. But what you can do is you can see how I draft my team, and you can mimic what I do based on your pick order or whatever. And they're fun, guys. They're fun. And I want to get your input on these drafts. I'm probably going to put in 150 lineups before tip-off, before season starts. And 100 of those will be made on live stream with the community, and 50 will be just my own personal things like that. And this is my season-long sweat. I love to do it. And you can get in too. Use code CRUSH on Underdog. They'll give you their deposit match. They have all their pick'ems, their streak, everything they have, guys, plus a free square and 30 days of the cord. The link's in the description. I really want you guys to help me out with this, so you're going to have to come in on those TikTok streams. They're free. There's no excuse. So make sure you're following on TikTok so when it goes live, you can get in the mix. Now, my Discord live stream is hosted in the Discord, and that's Monday through Friday, 5:30 Central. You get into that by joining the Dub Club, which is right here, CaptainCrush.net. These are the packages. Again, this rate will grandfather you in. You won't have to pay $35 a month once Crushed Bats Hitters comes out. You'll be paying $25. Now is the time to get in. That is the discount, as well as my 3-month summer special, guys. I do appreciate my loyal followers. You guys have been amazing. I have good things coming. I'm working extremely hard. I can't wait to reveal my football plans with you guys. Please smash the like button. It does help out. I tried to get this video out early. Here's the salute. Good luck in all your contests. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.